Hello everybody, please be seated. Well, good afternoon everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to the 2025 University Campus Doncaster's graduation ceremony. It's lovely to see so many people in the audience today. My name is James Wadsworth. I'm Director of HE Academic Registry at University College Doncaster, and I'd like to open our proceedings this afternoon by calling upon our Governor, Mr. Daniel Fell, MBE, to give our opening address. Daniel. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dan Fell. I'm the Chief Executive of Doncaster Chamber of Commerce and a really, really proud member of the governing body for DN Colleges Group and University Centres. And as a member of that governing body, it gives me real pleasure to be part of today's degree and awards presentations and to join the celebrations of a remarkably successful group of graduates. Attending here today, you have every right to feel enormously proud of your achievements, as I'm sure do your family and your friends. I also know that your tutors, fellow governors, the senior leadership team, and all at University Campus Doncaster are equally proud of your outstanding achievements. Doncaster College is a community, and it's a community that makes a profound difference, which offers extraordinary experiences, which helps people understand that they too are extraordinary. And you would not be here today if it were not for your tenacity, your dedication, and your work ethic. And these are all qualities that will serve you really well in life. Many of you will have had to overcome some significant challenges since the start of your course, not least juggling studies with jobs, family commitments, and life. And in completing your course and securing a really valuable qualification, you demonstrate in abundance the qualities that employers are looking for locally, nationally, and indeed internationally. Indeed, I know from my day job that employers in the public, private, and voluntary sectors alike are all crying out for talent. They will covet your skills and think themselves incredibly lucky to secure you in their employment. And equally, you might, of course, choose to use those skills to start your own successful enterprise. Following your academic success, and as you embark on a new and exciting chapter in your life and career, we at DN Colleges Group look forward to hearing all about the wonderful things you have done and that you have achieved. Please keep in touch. You are great role models for the adults and the young people alike who will follow in your footsteps. And on behalf of staff and governors, I offer to all of you my warmest congratulations, and I wish you every success in all that you do in the future. And on behalf of governors, it would be really remiss of me not to also thank and to heap praise on the university team and the wider leadership team for the truly outstanding efforts that they have put in to helping you achieve the success that we are collectively celebrating today. Well done to everyone. Have a fantastic and a memorable day. I now call upon the Deputy Principal of DN Colleges Group, Mr. Daniel Fenwick, to address the audience. Thank you.
It's usually my mum what calls me Daniel, so thank you. So I'm Danny Fenwick. So we've got a Dan and Danny, a delegation of Dans. So very good afternoon, everybody. And there's going to be a little bit of repetition and unashamedly repetition of some of the things Dan says, because today, our graduates, this is your day, and heap praise we shall on you. So we don't mind you hearing it 2 or 3 times because you absolutely deserve it. So ladies, gentlemen, honoured guests, esteemed colleagues, governors, proud family members, friends, and of course, our extraordinary students. It is a real pleasure and a privilege to be here today on your day of celebration. Graduation marks the culmination of many years of hard work, dedication, and growth, and I'm deeply honoured to stand before you today to commemorate this momentous occasion in the lives of Doncaster's finest. Like Dan, I want to acknowledge the support of other people who've helped you on your journey. Success is very rarely a solo enterprise, both in and outside of the classroom, and I know how the unwavering support of others has been instrumental in the success of our graduates. I'd like now just to take a moment just to acknowledge some of that support. So family, many of you here today, to the partners, the parents, the sons and the daughters, these last few years will have been tough for you. Inevitably, you will have had to make sacrifices also. You probably had to count to 10 on a good few occasions and probably missed out on things as a family because they've got an assignment due. You know what though? Without your support and your compassion and your care, our graduates wouldn't be where they are today. So a huge thank you to you. To your friends, you've probably lost your best friend for the last 3 years whilst they've been studying. Less trips to the pub, probably being asked to proofread assignments which you've got no idea about what's in them. Conversations being centred around the inconvenient handing dates of assignments. On the whole, they've probably been a little bit boring over the last 3 years. However, your friend's success is as much as your success. Don't underestimate the impact that you've had, being that shoulder to cry on, that person to release to. You have helped your friends, those graduates today, to be where they are today. So thank you to the friends. And to the staff. In education, we're very privileged to work with you. We can help shape our graduates and bring out the best in them. So, to our outstanding and committed staff team from the University Campus Doncaster, we thank you. I know how hard you work and how talented you are, and we want to publicly praise and recognise your high quality, your passion and dedication to your students. You should also be very proud of yourselves on top of the pride you will show for your students. And most importantly, to our graduates, those graduating today, those of you who studied in Doncaster and those who have studied through distance learning. I know you'll be really appreciative of those surrounding you today, those family, those friends and the staff. You have successfully navigated the challenges, both academic and personal, that have come your way. I know your achievements will represent countless hours of studying, late nights, early mornings, balancing family and caring commitments, but ultimately demonstrating an unyielding commitment to your education. Your presence here today is a testament to your strength, your determination, and your unwavering resilience. You've not only acquired knowledge in the classroom, but have also honed important life skills which will serve you well in the future. So what does this future look like? Well, as we all know, the world is changing very rapidly. It's evolving technologically really quickly. This may bring a feeling of uncertainty, but it's crucial to remember that you are well prepared for what lies ahead. You're doing really well, mister, down there, don't you worry. I know, not much longer, I promise. So your learning experiences have equipped you really well. It will help you be adaptable, dynamic, responsive and flexible. All these things you've learned at Doncaster College will help you flourish in this changing world. According to the World Economic Forum in 2025, technological skills are now projected to grow in importance more rapidly than any other skills in the next 5 years. AI, big data are at the top of the list, followed by networks, cybersecurity and technological literacy. But you shouldn't fear this. Many of our graduates today are what we'd class as mature students. Some mature than others. You know who you are. If you're on the side of 40, let's say the north side of 40, what I'm going to talk to you now is how you've made that transition. If you're under 40, you probably won't have a clue what I'm talking about, but bear with me. I want to try and represent the change in technology just by looking at one particular thing. Telephones. And I say telephones, not mobiles, not mobile phones, but telephones. We all used to have a telephone in our house. There was a wire attached to it, and it was plugged into a wall. You're nodding, madam, you can remember this. It probably had a special table in the hallway, on a little doily thing, yeah? You had to walk to the phone if you wanted to talk to somebody. On that table, there were probably 2 books. a blue book and a yellow book. The blue book, because back in the day there was no GDPR, had everybody's name, address, phone numbers in the whole region. You could just look in the book, make a random phone call if you was a naughty teenager, and just ring anybody, pretend to be somebody, and just speak to anybody. If you wanted a plumber, a beautician, a bricklayer, you'd pick up the yellow book. It was a very big yellow book. The world's strongest men used to take pride in being able to rip these books with two hands. But the world was at your fingertips. However, and this is where some of the young ones may struggle, all you could do on that telephone was ring people up. You couldn't text on it. You couldn't take a photograph with it. And you certainly couldn't take a selfie with it. You couldn't search the internet. Wasn't really a thing back then. You couldn't order anything on it. And you certainly couldn't take it to the local lockers with you, scan your parcel that you've just sold something on Vinted with it. So, just in that one example of technology, things have changed rapidly. And you know what? We've all changed with it. We're all dynamic, we're all responsive. So don't let this talk about these great technological changes, don't let them frighten you. Embrace them. There'll be more opportunities for more creative jobs, more creative thinking. Some of those regular, more autonomous jobs, those lower skill jobs will be taken by technology. But it'll leave space for graduates like you to be much more creative thinkers and do more higher skill work. The world's also become more fragmented, politically and socially. But you're prepared for this. You're learning alongside each other. The respectful challenges and debates that you've engaged in with each other will have further developed your tolerance of each other and prepared you for the challenges that you'll come across from others who hold a different view to you. You have the power to improve social cohesion, even if it's just within the circles that you move in. And graduates, finally, the friendships that you have formed, the lessons that you have learned, and the experiences that you've all had are part of the rich tapestry that have made up your time at the University Campus Doncaster. So please, cherish these moments, cherish these memories. They are the building blocks of your character and a great asset to you as you go on to the next stages in your career. You may not realise this yet, but you're also an inspiration to others. Do not underestimate the impact that your achievement has had on those around you. We sometimes have a tendency, don't we, to downplay our achievements and not to draw attention to them, preferring sometimes to keep our heads down and just crack on. But today, I encourage you to do the opposite. Be proud, show the world what you've achieved and what you can do. You've earned that right. So please enjoy the moment in the spotlight, because it's absolutely deserved. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danny. So, as Director of HE Academic Registry, it gives me great pleasure and is an absolute privilege to receive the candidates who have successfully completed their studies in the 2024-25 academic year. And I would like to invite Pro Vice-Chancellor Becky Hamlet from the University of Hull to congratulate our graduates as they walk across the stage by shaking their hands. Becky.
James, can I just say one thing? Sorry. Everybody in the first session was really civil and very well behaved, right? You don't have to be. When somebody walks up here, if you want to give them a holler, a cheer, a whistle, a shout, please do so, okay? There's no protocol. Be as loud as you want.
So getting back to the script.
Sorry.
So will the candidates please prepare to come forward to receive your awards. So our first programme this afternoon is Certificate in Education, Lifelong Learning, and Siobhan Armstrong. Caroline Jennings. Olivia Seven. David Webb. Moving on to our Professional Graduate Certificate in Education, Lifelong Learning, Caitlin Croucher. Kelly Gormley. Jack Richards. Kelly White. Moving on to our PGC in Post-Compulsory Education and Training, Samantha Sidwell. Joseph Steele. Moving on now to our BA Honours in Contemporary Relational Counselling, Sharon Ashley. Laura Bradley. Violetta Collington. Marie Edge Billington. Mark Iviaboho. Charlotte Fox. Cindy Johns. Jessica Pell-Taylor. And I'd just like to take a moment now before we continue to acknowledge a student called Simon Robinshaw, a fellow of the 2025 graduate of BA Honours in Contemporary Relational Counselling, who sadly cannot be with us today due to illness. I have the privilege of reading a message from his tutors, which says, Simon has been a credit to the college throughout his time with us, always being a supportive peer to his fellow students and an absolute pleasure to teach with his consistently positive attitude. He has embraced every challenge he encountered and has done so with warmth and a fantastic sense of humour. I know I speak on behalf of the whole group when I say thank you, Simon. It has been our honour and privilege to have been part of your learning journey. We would therefore like to celebrate Simon's achievement, a well-deserved 2-1, and hold him and his family in our hearts as we honour this milestone. So I invite you all, please, can we have a big special round of applause for Simon Robinson. Moving on, the next programme is the MA in Contemporary Relational Studies and Nosheen Akhtar. Martina Gabarova. Nicola Harpin. Grace King. Despina Marathestis. Yes, Mark McDermott. Okay. Rebecca Myers. Rebecca Neville. Kerry Rudman. Kirsty Sellers. Thank you. Karen Walker. Penny Willis. Lisa Wood. Maria Yosefi. Now moving on to our MSc in Contemporary Psychosexual Therapy, Linda Almond. Trush Bhat Patel. Lana Buckheim. Joanne Conway. Matt Cormack. Leslie Hitchin. Well, I say he hot on you. Shana Laffey. Gemma Laming. Rachel Lockwood. Mandy Nichols. Alistair Sladen. Christy Smith. And now on to the foundation degree in Children's Learning and Development, Sarah Bridge. Kelsey Charnock. Gemma Dix. Sarah Holmes. Rowenda Kaur. Natalie Muggleton. Samantha Spink. Sarah Taylor. Gemma Waterfall. We move on now to the BA Honours in Early Childhood Studies, Faith Bartram. Ellie Mae Battenberg. Roisin Bryson. Shannon Collins. Poppy Dawson Otter. Emma Ellis. Kennedy Amika Okereke. Catherine Fairburn. Melissa Fairclough. Faye Heaney. Simone Kilby. Tia Leacat. Teresa McElroy. Jessica Parfitt. Ellen Robinson. Caitlin Simpson-Heath. Rachel Tarry. And the next programme is MA in Educational Studies, starting with Megan Bailey. Sonia Edgar. The next programme now is the Foundation Degree in Supporting Children and Young People's Mental Health and Wellbeing. Hannah Clayton. Rachel Crowthers. Jodie Mantle. Laura Reid. This programme is now the Foundation Degree in Supporting Children with Special Educational Needs and Disabilities. Sophie Allen. Karen Cook. Just let that die down a second. Natalie Dean. Danielle Kearns. Janet Oatway. Emma Pearson. Our next programme is the BA Honours in Special Educational Needs, Disability and Inclusion, starting with Nadia Adams. Charlotte Beeston. Fern Bladen. Megan Briggs. Hannah Bullivant. Louise Cardis. Connie Dawson. Carla Diamond. Leslie Embleton. Kirsty Gleeson-Filtness. Carolina Kazmarek. Michelle Reeves-Rogers. Naomi Saunders. Carol Wallbank. Gemma Walters. Halima Yasmin. We now move on to the MA in Supporting Children with Special Educational Needs and Disabilities, Rebecca Allison. Indrilla Ghoshal. Melanie Owen. Rachel Patman. Alice Glazeby. Estella Wilmot. Our next programme is the Foundation Degree in Professional Practice in Health and Social Science. Anita Kaur. Theodore Rousseau. And next we have the BSc Honours in Health and Social Care Studies, Gemma Minty. Claire Stoppard. Julie Sykes. Hello. And that completes the awards to the candidates. I can now confirm that all candidates have received their awards. 1 second. I'd like to congratulate all our new graduates and ask them all to please stand. There they are. Wow. Honour guests, staff, graduates, family, friends, please join me in applauding our graduates one more time. And I'm sure our graduates would like to show their appreciation for the people that have helped them along the way in completing their awards. So please, graduates, turn to your families and friends and give them a good round of applause as well, please. Fabulous, thank you. Fabulous. Please, thank you. Take a seat now. So we move on now to our Community Award presentation. So as we come together to celebrate the achievements of our graduates, we also take a moment to recognise the remarkable contribution made by individuals and organisations in our community. It is with great pride we present our second annual University Campus Doncaster Community Award. This award highlights the invaluable role that organisations play in shaping a brighter future for our students and the broader Doncaster community. Through our ongoing partnership, we celebrate those who have demonstrated unwavering commitment to fostering growth, creativity and opportunity within our city. This year, we are thrilled to announce the University Campus Doncaster Community Award is presented to Doncaster Children's University. Doncaster Children's University is an inspiring educational programme that rewards children and young people aged 5 to 14 for participating in positive extracurricular activities that spark curiosity, creativity, giving every child the best possible chance to explore, grow and succeed. This remarkable work is made possible by the dedicated staff and volunteers at Doncaster Children's University who support, guide and inspire every child along their learning journey. Through the Passport to Learning, along with various community and school initiatives and annual events, they encourage children to learn by doing what they enjoy, broadening horizons and fostering a lifelong love of learning. As a valued partner, your work continues to shape the future, not only of Doncaster's young residents, but also of our wider learning community across DNCG. This award recognises the vital role you play in inspiring ambition, creating opportunities and celebrating achievement. Congratulations to Doncaster Children's University, its dedicated team and everybody involved for their outstanding contribution you make to the community and for inspiring the next generation of learners. So please join me in welcoming Rachel Benstead, the Children's University's coordinator, to the stage to accept the Community Award on behalf of Doncaster Children's University. Rachel. Thank you. So now we're going to move to our guest speaker. So I'm delighted to welcome guest speakers to today's ceremony. The speaker is no stranger to overcoming challenges and is a record-breaking adventurer, author, coach, and charity founder from Chester, who survived as a teenager two of the biggest challenges and disasters in Mount Everest history. Today, he'll be sharing what he's learnt about success and resilience along his journey. And therefore, as you take the next steps on your journey, it's worth very much listening to. So please welcome Alex Staniforth.
Thank you. Well, hi everybody. It's great to be here today, and it's a privilege to have a chance to share a bit of my journey on such a special occasion. Now, today is all about success and achievement. So you might be wondering why they invited someone who's failed Everest twice and every big mountain they've tried to climb. This is probably the closest thing I'll get to actually graduating myself. But actually, today I want to share a story about success, failure, setbacks, and resilience. Because all the graduates have overcome their own challenges to get this far and to achieve. Whether that's financial, physical, health problems, mental, technological, the list goes on. And from here on, life will throw challenges at us, probably when we least expect it. But I think we're not defined by what's thrown at us in life. We're defined by how we respond to that, how we pick ourselves back up, and how we move forwards. And today is a chance just to stop and reflect on your achievements and just how far you've come. Because life often has mountains a lot closer to home. You know, we all have our own Everest. We all have our version of that. And 10 years ago, I never could have dreamed I'd be standing here speaking for all of you today. I had a great start in life. I was brought up in Chester. Everything was fine and comfortable until I was about 9 years old. And I had a mild form of epilepsy, which was a pretty terrifying thing to go through at such a young age. You know, it shattered my confidence and my self-esteem, left me with anxiety and panic attacks, and just being out of the house without my parents felt like a threatening place to be. Because kids are very kind and considerate, I was also relentlessly bullied throughout my entire time at school, and being different makes you a target. I was the kid that came second to last at sports day. I hated exercise, I was hopeless at sport. And here's the best part. I've also had a stammer ever since I've been able to speak, which just comes and goes when it likes, turns up to social events with no real purpose and just gets on everybody's nerves. I used to hide in the toilets at school because I'd be so terrified of speaking in class. And I've always struggled saying words beginning with C and K, which isn't ideal when you're from Kelsall and now live in Kendal. Maybe that's why I haven't climbed Kilimanjaro yet, rule of three. But I'm telling you all this not to feel sorry for me or for self-pity, but because life gives us lots of reasons not to achieve, not to step forward. But it doesn't have to be that way. You know, and I went through school believing that I was a victim, believing that I wasn't good enough, believing I was born to fail. And some of you may have felt the same way. But everything changed when I was about 14, when I went on my first hill walk in the Lake District with my friend Tom and his family. And that day in the mountains, in my jeans and Foo Fighters t-shirt, just blew my mind. You know, I'd never seen anything like it before. And suddenly had that chance to really dream big, to find the confidence and the freedom and the achievement that I'd never had at school. But more importantly that day, I realized that we can't always choose our challenges in life and what's thrown at us. But we can choose our response to that. And from then on, I wanted to find what else I could do. What else could I overcome? And this random question popped into my head. Where is Mount Everest? I didn't have a clue. So I came home, I went online, and came across a picture just like this one. And straight away, I knew that was exactly where I wanted to be. Standing on top of Everest seemed like the ultimate challenge, the ultimate goal, to prove myself, to prove all those bullies wrong. Now, I know that might seem like a pretty extreme goal at 14 years old, but we all make bad decisions as teenagers. You know, when you're 14, you think you can take on the world. And you all have your own version of that. Beyond here today, it might be traveling the world, it could be a career, it could be buying a house, the list goes on. But the hardest part in that journey is always taking the first step. And just getting to the mountain, getting on an expedition was going to cost around $50,000. Now, my parents weren't just going to sign me a check. My job washing pots at the Royal Oak wasn't going to pay for it. My dad said that was a lot of money for a holiday back then, although he was from Sheffield. So I'm going to have to find a way or make one. Fortunately, I met this guy, Chris. And I'm just going to point out that photo was taken just after lockdown when all the hairdressers were still closed. Chris managed it somehow, but not for me. But besides that, Chris was a coach and a counsellor. And I asked if we could have a chat one day. And the nervous 16-year-old Alex sat down and said, I've got this goal to climb Everest, but I don't have a clue where to start. And Chris kind of nodded and said, you know, I don't think you need to know all the steps. I think you've just got to start and find the way. And Chris became my first mentor, the first person who really believed in me and my ability to make this big, ridiculous goal happen. And together we made a plan. We realized that corporate sponsorship was going to be the only option to raise a significant amount of money in such a short space of time. Now, in March 2014, I was lucky enough to fly out to Nepal on that first Everest expedition at 18 years old. Let's just say that things didn't quite go to plan. A day before we got to base camp, there was a massive avalanche which killed 16 people. Biggest disaster in Everest history at the time. And we had to pack up and go home without stepping a single foot on the mountain. Now, obviously, we've got no right to complain when we're going home safe to our families, because really that's all that matters. But what do we do now? Well, you quickly realize that so much in life is outside of our control. You know, whether that's the weather, the pandemic, the traffic, the economy, what people are saying on social media. The three things we can always control is our mindset, our effort level, and where we focus our attention. So this was a chance, an opportunity to go home, to focus on training, to come back even stronger. And in 2015, we were back for take 2. This time didn't go much better. We left base camp in the early hours of the morning for our first trip to Camp 1. To get there, we have to move through the icefall, which is the most dangerous part of the entire route. I'm just going to show you a quick video from my GoPro to explain why. And breathe. Thank you. I've never been clapped before. Thank you. My mum still hasn't seen that video. If I was to go around the room and ask who would cross over that step ladder, every time most people say, no chance. And when I ask them why, it's the same thing. Fear. What could go wrong? What if the ladder breaks? What if the rope snaps? What if I fall off? What will people think? And I think sometimes we don't take that step towards our goals because we're so paralyzed by fear and what could happen. And that's a perfectly normal response. But instead of asking what could happen and what could go wrong, maybe we need to ask, what could happen if we don't? Take the step, take the chance, do the thing, have the conversation, ask the question, do the course, take the risk. Well, that day was one of the bad days. Doesn't matter how young you are, doesn't matter how fit you are. You know, that day, it felt like I'd never been on a mountain in my life. We were about half an hour away from Camp 1. I'm on my own, pulling on the rope, and I was so knackered that I didn't actually feel the ground shaking. I didn't feel the earthquake that's just hit Nepal and taken over 9,000 lives. I just remember hearing this huge crack above my head, the sound of ice breaking off the mountain like it had the year before. And behind that, you've got this distant primal roar of an avalanche coming straight for us. Panic set in. I've got to move fast. And for the first time in my life, at 19 years old, I'm thinking, this is it. Game over. Any second now, it's just going to go black. But the debris never came. We just got whacked by a massive blast of powder. And somehow, pretty miraculously, we all made it unharmed to Camp 1. But now we're stuck on the mountain at over 6,000 meters. The route down to base camp's gone. We're told we could be there for a week. We got food for a day, maybe 2 days at most. Every 30 minutes, we've got avalanches hitting us from both sides. The next day, someone in the tent next to me shouts, "Hey guys, is the Wi-Fi still working?" As if things couldn't get any worse. Because at the time, we had no idea that we'd actually been in the safest place of all. That base camp had been hit by a much bigger avalanche triggered by the earthquake. And it was like a plane crash. Everything had just gone. Where do we start? And then it was clear that had we not left base camp, had we not crossed those ladders that morning, I probably wouldn't be standing speaking to you today. Had we not taken that chance. Now, I was always terrified of failure. We're taught that failure is a bad thing, to avoid it at all costs. But sometimes not reaching the goals teaches us something more important. Gives us a chance to think differently, to do something new. It opens opportunities that we never even expected and anticipated. I think the only real failure is not trying in the first place and not picking ourselves back up again. Because not reaching that goal has led me to be able to start speaking, to write books, to start a charity, Mind Over Mountains, which is a mental health charity, combining coaching and counselling and walking in the hills and mindfulness, giving people that safe space just to walk and talk. Now we have a brilliant team of people who do our events all across England and Wales, so that people don't have to wait for months or years on a waiting list to get the help that they need and deserve. It's also led to new challenges, which my mum was always pleased about. This one was that was climbing on national free peaks, Ben Nevis, Scafell Pike and Snowdon. But I decided to try and run the entire thing. So about 450 miles or 17 marathons in 9.5 days. I wouldn't recommend it for obvious reasons. And on day 2, I felt like I'd been hit by a bus. By day 5, I could barely run more than 10 meters at a time from the pain in my shins. I had sponsors emailing me telling me to stop. And on the final day, I set off at 3 o'clock in the morning to try and run that final section to Snowdon in record time. Now, maybe some of you felt the same way. You can see the finish line, the end's in sight, you just want to get this thing over with. And I thought I didn't need sleep, I thought I could just crack on, and I was wrong. And I fell asleep in a bus stop in Capel Curig, and then in my mum's car, had a great time. And after all those miles and all those marathons, I missed the record by 1 hour. 1 hour. Now, you might think that's a failure. I missed the objective. But is that a failure? Because I think it's always better to set the bar too high in life and fall short than it is to set the bar too low and hit it consistently every time. Otherwise, we'll never find out what we're capable of achieving. But if that wasn't bad enough, this guy knocked an entire day off my time. Now, I supported Ben on his own Free Peaks run a few years ago. And Ben is a personal trainer in the Royal Marines. I mean, you can tell who spends time in the gym, can't you? And yet it's so easy to compare ourselves on our journeys to people on social media who appear to be faster or stronger or more successful than we are. But we have to run our own race. Everyone's dealing with their own challenges. All we can do is work harder and challenge ourselves to be better than we were the day before. Now, I don't have 1 million followers on TikTok. I don't even have TikTok. So to raise money for charity now, I have to think of even more ridiculous things. People like to watch me suffer. So this year I decided to try and climb all 446 mountains in England and Wales, running the peaks and cycling between them, about 3,000 kilometers in one go. Now, the previous record was 6 months. I couldn't take 6 months off work, so I had to try and get round as fast as I could in 45 days to try and raise £100,000 for our charity. And you probably know what's coming. There were plenty of days like this one, when I'm cold, wet, scared, alone, exhausted, got nothing left to give. About a week in, I managed to pull my hamstring. Could barely lift my leg 90 degrees without searing pain. How on earth am I going to run up mountains every single day? Surely this is it, it's all over again. But what I've learned is that we all have those moments of self-doubt, imposter syndrome, fear. It doesn't go away. But we have experience that we've been there before. We've survived 100% of our worst days. And we know that we have to take it down one day, one mountain, one step at a time, and we will get there. But also in those tough moments, we're only as good as the people around us. I would not have got to that final peak on time without all these people behind me who believed in me when I didn't always believe in myself. I'm sure that's exactly the same for all of you. Whether that's your partner, your friends, your family, your tutors, your staff who had your back. And we can't do it without them. But before I even got down Helvellyn, one of them asked me, "So Alex, what's next?" I was like, "It's not even been a week." But I want to ask you the same question. What's your next step? Where do you go from here? Because you've opened so many opportunities and doors for your achievement. Maybe you're not sure, maybe you have a plan. But wherever you go from here, please don't be afraid of failure, because things will go wrong. But the only real failure is not trying in the first place. If we're not willing to risk some failure, we're never going to find out just what we're capable of achieving. And sometimes you've just got to start and find the way. And embrace the challenges. Trust yourself and trust the people around you that you can not only overcome those challenges, but you can come through them even stronger. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing what you all achieve next. Enjoy the journey, and if I can help you in any way, then please do get in touch. But if you take nothing else away from my talk today, I'll leave you with one final thing. Don't climb Everest if I'm there. Thank you.
Alex, thank you. It was amazing. Amazing stories and inspirational, and take a lot for us to all take away and reflect on and think about. Thank you once again. Round of applause for Alex, please. So that brings us to the end of our ceremony this afternoon. So on behalf of the University Campus Doncaster, I would like to thank teaching staff for their dedication and excellence, but also the staff have organised and operated the event today and given us such a wonderful graduation. So a round of applause for both teams, please. And that concludes our ceremony. So on behalf of everyone here, I would like to sincerely thank all our guests for joining us, guests on stage, and celebrating this special milestone. And I think we'll have just one more big round of applause for our graduates. And let's take the roof off, please.